Dane, I know how much you look forward to these nights, right? But then you get kind of a mixed bag, some high highs. But
yeah, it was a weird night. But, it paid off with my guy. I got to figure out his fucking name. And then
we were just laughing the whole time, like, there's no way Dana's going to be able to say his name.
Yeah.
So coming into tonight, I mean, it seems like, at least when you're talking at the end, is there a higher bar, did you think? Or was it just through the night that people didn't meet the threshold you already had?
I don't know. It's, when you watch the first fight, you got to come in and fucking say, I got to make this guy say yes and sign me. And Bradley, I don't know if this kid's ever watched the show. I was going to throw both these guys in UFC BJJ. And then the last fight. How'd you guys score that?
Draw.
Yeah, draw, right?
Yeah.
Lost a point in the first round and then wins the next 2 rounds.
Yep.
30-26. What? Yeah, I was surprised they didn't disqualify him.
That was a little shocking, right? We haven't pretty blatant foul there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, because thinking about that with Ilian in that main event, did you give any thought whatsoever to how impacted he was by that headbutt? Like maybe that's why he didn't fight very much over the last 2 rounds?
No. So when you come on the show, first of all, I don't even know anything about any of these guys till I sit down and I start reading the paper. Show me who. We didn't see anything. Saw nothing from the kid. And then Santana, you just lost the first round for sure. And he's yelling and screaming and slapping himself and talking, but not fighting. But he did enough to win the next 2 rounds. So, just real weird.
Do Sean and Mick ever say, hey, Dane, I know that was a bad performance from, say, like a guy like Radley, who looks very talented in his past. Do they ever say, hey, yeah, this was an off night, but come on, let's bring this guy
They're way worse than me.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're way worse than me. Yeah, no way. You show up and fight like that, yeah, those guys have no sympathy. Those guys are heartless killers, okay? Believe me.
Yep. Well, let's talk about the high points then. Ty Miller, it sounds like you kind of want to maybe slow play him a little bit. You're saying get him in the PI. You think there's talent there?
Yeah. I think that I do. I think the kid's talented. He's got the size, the reach. He's, I think the PI could help him out a lot. Strength and conditioning and yeah. He's 25 years old. Yeah, I liked him. And I saw some good things, and I felt like he definitely deserved a chance.
And as you said, Beisinger.
And now he's 6-0. You know what I mean? So.
And Beisinger, your favorite tonight, obviously amazing. You says that you have big plans already.
And he wanted to make it very clear he took the fight on 4 days' notice, not a week. Yeah, I said a week, 4 days' notice.
And you're talking about, booking the guy right away. It sounds like you guys were already trying to put plans together for him.
Yeah, Mick's like, I'm throwing him on the next available card. So.
I dig it. Well, listen, obviously you do. I'm sure you understand. We want to talk about the TV deal as well, that you're here. Big news for the UFC. I guess, can you just tell us kind of what this landmark deal means to you and where this will take the UFC over the course of this 7 years?
Yeah, and I say this to you guys all the time too. How do we beat last year? And it's always trying to go to the next level. And obviously this TV deal is massive and a big deal. There's still a lot more to it that you guys all don't know. But now it's about, you always have to prove yourself. Always. No matter how good last year was, it doesn't mean jack shit when you go into the next year. And we have to get in there and we have to deliver. These guys are investing in the sport, in the athletes, and we got to get in there and kill it. So we got a lot of hard work to do over the next several months. Already coordinating now to get the teams together, everybody start to meet each other, and start to game plan for January.
The decision to largely shy away from pay-per-view, I know you said it may still be on the table, but stay over. How difficult of a decision was that to make?
It's not that it's on the table. The whole thing started going out. Pay-per-view's dead. Pay-per-view's not dead. We're on pay-per-view on Saturday. And the pay-per-view business is still very much alive and well. But, we were talking about potential pay-per-view with other streaming partners that we were talking to in the deal, but just not in this one. And who knows what could happen? The beautiful thing about this business is every year something happens that I don't see coming. You know, a fight that you never thought would happen, or who knows? I mean, now, you know, we're doing boxing and we're doing MMA. Who knows what could happen? And anything could be a pay-per-view. Something could be a pay-per-view still.
Does this require like massive restructuring of like fighter pay? I mean, they used to be pay-per-view partners with you, right? Now what's the carrot or the encouragement to be the superstar?
It's not massive restructuring. You know, we got a bunch of smart kids over there that work in the accounting department to figure out how to, you know, how to make all this stuff work. But it's so good for the fighters. And what I loved about being with, you know, one company that made such a big investment in us is they're all in with us. So, you know, the fighters are going to get tons of promotion, you know, built by all these different unbelievable networks that these guys own. And, you know, these are aggressive, smart guys that are going to build a big media company.
Yeah. Do you know what the cards are going to look like? I mean, now that you no longer have to sell a pay-per-view, does that mean you don't necessarily have to stack the numbered events so deep and you spread the roster a little bit?
You know, that's not the way I think. You know, that's not the way I think. We're going to go in with to this Paramount deal, guns a-blazing, and yeah, no, that's not the way I think. I don't go, oh, let's water this shit down now. We don't have to, exact opposite.
Nice. Last one for me. I did want to ask, I know we don't know where Contender Series lands yet, but you had talked like when you were talking with other partners that they want twice as many Contender Series. Is that still something that you're talking about, or with this, does that change things?
Yeah, everybody loves the Contender Series, so we're still working on it. We got to figure it out. There's still a lot of moving pieces and parts to this deal.
Dana, going back to tonight, when you have guys like Santana shouting and screaming, and then Yuri doing the Max Holloway point down, but then going for a takedown, basically goofy shit. When you see people do stuff like that, does that work against them? Do you take that into account and think these guys are behaving stupid?
Look at Kevin Holland. I didn't sign Kevin Holland, right? And then, you know, I can't remember, a fight fell out, and we were in the matchmaking room, and I said, call Big Mouth and see if he'll take the fight. He took the fight, and the rest is history. I mean, he's one of the most beloved guys in the UFC, and he has made a shitload of money. A shitload of money. Me and Hunter were at the last Kevin Holland fight, and I said, look up how much money Kevin Holland's made. Kevin Holland has done very well, and I didn't pick him in the contender that night, and the way that whole thing played out, it's awesome.
Going back to a pay-per-view, it's a very rare thing in this day and age for things to get cheaper for fans, right? And now the UFC is going to be cheaper for UFC fans. How much was the rising costs of pay-per-view a factor in your decision to maybe move away from that model?
So whatever happens with our partner, when we go in and we do a new deal, we were with Spike TV, then we went with Fox, ESPN, and now Paramount. All of these guys have different objectives and goals, you know, that they want to do with their property over the next several years. Whatever it is, we are aligned, and we get in, we roll up our sleeves, and we do what needs to be done. If it was going to be pay-per-view, it was going to be pay-per-view. If it was going to be subscription.
With the model that you have now with Paramount, does that mean we can do numbered events in other countries prime time locally? So, for example, the Manchester event, could you now do that at prime time in the UK?
All that stuff still needs to be worked out.
Okay. And then the fighter pay stuff, obviously that's going to go up and the fighters are going to get money. Do you guys look at that as a case-by-case contractual basis with each fighter? Or
What's the question?
I'm getting there. Do you look at it case-by-case with each fighter, or do you go, right, we're going to
What was the first part of the question?
Fighter pay.
Fighter pay,
Yeah. So do you look at it as like case-by-case on each fighter, or do you go, right, we're just going to up the base pay and maybe up the bonuses? How do you sort of figure out the fighter pay rising?
Yeah. These are. Listen, I'm not going to have any comments on that yet because we still got to get together and figure this stuff out. It's August. We have till January to figure all that stuff. But you know, the low-hanging fruit that's easy to answer, bonuses are obviously going up. So, you know, that'll be big. And just forget about the tide rising with all the other fighters. I mean, just the number that the bonuses bring to a fighter is, you know.
That's awesome.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah. And obviously, you don't know who's on the card or anything like that, but this January event, let's say you get a title fight, a big fight. What's the ceiling for a massive title fight on CBS with the sport as it is now. How do you look at that event, and what do you think you can achieve being on CBS?
Yeah, I think that, with the strategy that they have over at Paramount and what they're going to do with this company over the next, I go in 5-year increments. So over the next 5 years, there's a lot more to come. And like I said, these are really smart, aggressive guys. And those are the kind of guys that I love to be in business with. So over the next, we're planning right now, I was talking to them today, to get together in September and start getting all the teams together and start working on the game plan for January.
Dana, going on just on the Paramount and the numbers, for people that don't really know what that means, when we're talking about big tentpole events, how many viewers can we expect to be watching these big events?
What you have to focus on is, I saw this thing on the internet yesterday that it said, this year or last year to be a UFC fan, it cost you, $1,030 to watch everything. Now it's like $115 or something. I mean, that's where the big difference is. The fact that you don't have to, and when you think about Paramount Plus, all the great programming they have, you pay your $12.99, you get all the UFC content plus movies and TV shows and all that. I don't know the answer to that question, but we're going to find out.
Yeah, it seems like that's what Turkey and everybody was saying. With getting rid of the pay-per-view model, there's going to be a whole new audience that never had a chance to maybe even see the sport. Do you feel that now a lot of people, that if that was ever a barrier, people having to pay to watch it, that barrier now is going away? So in all aspects, this sport should grow even faster now.
I agree.
Looking at Paramount, is that possibly still the lead destination for where TKO Boxing or Zuffa Boxing is going to go?
We'll see. We don't have that deal done yet. We'll announce that when it's done.
And is pretty much, so we won't know of any events on that side until the broadcast.
Yeah, that's not till 26 anyway.
Okay.
So this Canelo Crawford fight, I'm promoting this fight with Sheikh Turkey. What I'm doing in 26 is completely different than this.
How excited are you for the event that's going to go on in Allegiant?
How excited am I for what?
For the Canelo fight that is going to go on.
I mean, same night we got Canelo Crawford and Noche, and yeah, it's exciting, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you like to take on challenges like that.
I do. See how this works out.
Last one for me. For the White House card, do we have a number of fights that are supposed to happen? Is it a fight or is it a full-on event?
I'm flying out there the end of this month, the 28th. Going to meet with him, show him all the renderings and the plans, see what he wants to do, doesn't want to do, and then we'll start from there. But not even thinking about any of the fights it's still a year away. So,
I know you were excited about the challenge of the Sphere. How does this challenge stack up to what you had?
This is a different challenge in that I want to do it on the South Lawn, and they have some weight issues, and the octagon's 25,000 pounds. So, it's going to be incredibly challenging. And then the weather, which I hate and said I would never do again after Abu Dhabi. I don't give a shit if it snows. We're going to be out on that South Lawn.
Yeah. Thanks, Dana.
All right.
Dana, with MMA going back on CBS, are you looking to shatter that Kimbo Slice Elite card as well as the Cain Velasquez versus Dos Santos card on Fox? Are you still looking to shatter those numbers?
I mean, we're going to do what we do, and we're going to get out and build the sport and build new stars and do what we always do. The numbers,
with those numbers,
I'm not even thinking about that right now.
With those numbers, 6.1 million viewers and 8.8 peaking million viewers peaked. Like, are there fighters on the roster right now, excluding Conor McGregor, John Jones, that can bring that amount of eyeballs to CBS?
Well, like he and I were just talking about, it's the Barrett entry isn't $80 anymore. It's $12.99. So, yeah, I think that alone brings in more eyeballs.
With UFC 319 this weekend, it's a massive fight with DDP and Hamzat. Do you kind of feel like the energy of
yes.
this is
and I'm probably going to feel it more when I actually get to Chicago. I'm really excited for the main event should be unbelievable, and probably the fight of the night. And we haven't been to Chicago in a long time. And sold out. I'm sure that buzz and the energy is going to be good. And I am going to not be keto in Chicago this weekend, so I'm looking very forward to all of it.
And obviously, like, I don't know if you're like looking so much into like looking forward and into the storylines, but like, would DDP possibly headlining a like Africa card or Hamzat being champion, with Hamzat's inactivity? Do you kind of look at that going forward if Hamzat were to beat DDP, of like maybe he won't fight as much as you would like him to?
What is your question?
My question is,
if Hamzat fights, am I worried that he won't fight as much as I'd like him to?
I fucked that up. If Hamzat beats DDP, are you worried that he will not be a active champion because of his past inactivity?
No.
And then finally, are you going to bring back Steven Espinosa for a job at on Paramount?
Is he looking for a job still? Good.
Dana, with Canelo Crawford right here to your left. With Canelo Crawford rapidly approaching, it was recently announced that Callum Walsh will be on the undercard against Fernando Vargas Jr. So how important was it for you guys to get Callum on this card? And is this a full circle moment for that relationship you guys have with Tom Loeffler and to have Callum on such a big stage?
Yeah, I've been working with them for a while now on Fight Pass. I like Tom very much, and I like their style of matchmaking. They always have fun fights, and obviously, Callum and I have a great relationship. So it's been fun for me building it, and this thing just sort of all happened. It wasn't really a plan. It just all sort of came together. I mean, Shake Turkey popped out of nowhere. I mean, this thing just sort of happened in the last couple of years. So, yeah.
I know when people see videos of you kind of telling your story and how you got in the fight business, you always kind of mention you watching boxing your whole life. So is the inner, child in Dana White very excited for September 13th?
Yeah. I'm excited about, and I've talked a lot of shit about boxing and the production and lots of things over the last several years. So last 30 years. And, and now it's time to...
Yeah, and just one from tonight. Was tonight
like Tito would say, put my mouth where my words are.
Fair enough. Just one from tonight. Was tonight reminiscent of the B. Joe Pfeiffer episode you had a while back?
Did this remind me? No, this was even weirder than that night. I mean, this was a really weird night for the first episode. I've been so fired up for this. I had to fly in. I flew from Miami today to get here on time for this thing, and weird night. But thank God for the kid whose name I can't pronounce.
Denim.
We're going to have to change his name. Be the first thing we have to do. Jimmy.
Your speech when you were saying about who is going to get the contract or not, do you believe the way you talk to the fighters are going to help to set the tone to the next episode so the fighters are going to perform the way the Contender Series want them to perform?
Is that a question?
Yes. Do you
like
believe the way you talk to them?
The way that I talk to them sets the tone for the next episode. Yes. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's going to.
That is a statement, sir, not a question. Yes. If that's a question, my answer is yes.
Okay. Have you seen that before in the past seasons? I remember one day, like the Fertitas were here. He didn't like the first episode, and then you had
I think that was the Joe Pfeiffer episode, wasn't it?
I don't recall.
Me neither.
It was? Yeah.
But yes.
And then after that, the next episodes, they were really good. And do you believe the
Well, let's hope that worked. Because I don't think any of us can take an episode 2 like this episode 1. Unless another Jimmy pops up on episode 2. Then we'll be happy.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
The Paramount deal, it's for the U.S., right? In Brazil, I'm from Brazil, so in Brazil.
The new deal is the U.S. only.
Yeah, in Brazil, do you have are you willing to have a negotiation like that, a different platform or another partner?
Yes, we still have the rights to the rest of the world. So yes, we will negotiate, deals when they're up.
Perfect. Last one for me. Charles Oliveira, he's fighting in Brazil, October, and he's the main event there for that show. He just fought here against Topuria some fans were like willing, they were kind of surprised that he was fighting that soon in Brazil, especially because it's a fight night, not a pay-per-view. Maybe his purse was too much for that. How hard was to get the deal with Charles and Fiziev to fight?
Not at all. Not hard at all.
Even Fiziev, did you have any options on other fighters or
Tons of
Fiziev?
options.
Or Fiziev was the first one?
Is he asking me if that was the first option and he took the fight? Yeah, we bounce a lot of things around, and that's where it ended up. I mean, if you're asking me who else he was offered, I mean, it doesn't matter. That's the fight that's happening.
Okay.
Yeah? Thank you.
Dana, thank you for taking the time. They announced Miller and Hunter for September 11th. Obviously, we have Canelo for the 13th. Any word on what will take that September 12th spot as far as the boxing events?
What's your question?
Any word on that event? Nothing has been announced for September 12th. And do you have any leads on what might be?
You know what, man? I've been, dealing with all this deal leading up to today. This week, we're going to announce a lot of stuff. We'll get a lot of stuff out and announce this week.
I might have to wait to ask you this one then. Do you guys follow the same criteria that boxing has before? Grand arrival, press conference, open workouts?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. And will the Apex host any of that stuff, or does it just stay in the Strip?
Lene?
Perfect. 1 month out. Can't wait.
Cool.
Can't get some more info. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Actually, one more on that. The fight he just mentioned, the Michael Hunter, Jarrell Miller. Don King sent you a cease and desist. Do you have any reaction to that?
Who did?
Don King.
He
sent TKO and Seller a cease and desist because he says that he's got Michael Hunter under contract.
Huh. Okay. Welcome to boxing. I don't give a shit about that stuff. We got lawyers. They'll deal with it.
Did you ever think there was a world where you were going to be interacting with Don King when you started this?
I've had a good relationship with Don. I've never had a bad relationship with him. That's how this sport works. So that's not even on my radar. I don't even know anything about it. We got lawyers. Lawyers will deal with it. Cool. You guys done with me? Thanks. Have a great night.